Exactly. Yes, we're going to get the video on here. Yes, it is rolling.
All right.
Excellent. Excellent.
Sick, dude. This is now an official podcast.
It is.
We've been talking about this forever. I think like episode 1, I was like, yeah, we'll have video eventually. And now I'm just like, I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy this camera system. And then like we just now have an iPhone, like landscape. It'll work fine.
It
Works
does
great.
the job. Yeah.
Very sick. So we just, prior to starting, we listened to a new production we're working on called Distance. What are your thoughts, Mike?
I mean, right before we started recording, so I hadn't heard the most recent iteration of all you've done since you worked on it in the studio the last couple of weeks. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know about. I was like, whoa. Favorite part is the interlude with the guitar. It's very hard. It's very rocky, which is awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the whole point is like, it's very like dance, almost like elements of like EDM has like a pulse to it.
Oh, yeah.
But
heart throbbing.
yeah.
It's
And
like,
that,
go.
exactly. And then like that one part, it just gets like super rock and roll for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very fun. It's
Good flavors.
Yeah. I really wanted to show you guys that. I was so stoked. Because like for folks listening, like typically when you're working on a song and you have like Flo's mixing this, producing actually. And after like version 2, we were like, oh, this sounds so sick. And I was like, do not put it on Samply. And Samply is a way you can like share versions. Because what I'll do is I'll listen to it 100,000 fucking times, and then I won't have any actual input when we get back in the studio. It's just kind of a mess.
That's how you catch a cold case of demoitis.
Dermatitis, a venereal disease.
Dermatitis.
That fucking cat, dude.
I know.
I knew he was going to disrupt this.
He's super excited.
He's got to go. Warren, what are your thoughts? You pumped to play that one?
I am. Synths are crazy.
We're going to make you patch match that one, bro.
Oh, no. No,
Most
Neil's
of it is stock Logic.
Really?
Actually, John produced that one. I produced. I helped a little bit.
You did
but
help.
John did most of the synth work, and it's
Really?
mostly alchemy.
You know, it's funny. Whenever Neil goes out of town, I just get an itching to make celestial music, and this is one of the first times it's worked out. I think I have this one and then one more that I like, but this one by far was like I think the coolest and like stretch in like the right direction. We talked about it a bunch yesterday in the studio, but like basically identifying like what celestial is, like much more of like who we are. Like, okay, actually, before I do this, it's on my phone. But I was looking up today. I posted those pictures from Death Valley, which we'll get into. And I realized, like, I've never flat out said, unless you listen to the podcast, that the band is called Celestial. Like people see CLSTL, and they think like, what is it? Like your friend was like,
Clstl. Oh, so yeah, my friend thought it was control, like the keyboard button.
yeah, that's not too flattering when you get that. It's like, bro, it's Celestial. So I put in the comments, I was like CLSTL, and I put creating living sound through love. And then in the comment, I put like one of the definitions of what it means to be celestial, which is basically like to be heavenly, essentially, like to be divine or heavenly. And it like the vibe of like us in the desert with that, I was like so proud of it. I was like, this is art.
Yeah, especially because we're all in white too.
That happened on accident, kind of.
Well, you said you were gonna wear white, and we all kind of just followed suit. Thankfully, I almost wore brown.
Just disappear in the mountain behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
Floating with your bass.
Camouflage.
Floating head, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd have been nice.
The Wizard of Oz.
That's funny. But yeah, so big fucking week, boys. Like that was an incredible experience. Really, like legit one of the best days of my entire life. Like, so for people listening, like we shot a music video, which is pretty sick. It was an ambitious thought. So originally Neil and I were going to go out to Death Valley and just take some pictures for Other Worlds, our new single out. You should listen to that. But I told Flo, and like asked him, I was like, hey, bro, do you want to come like take pictures with us? He's just like, bro, why don't we just do a music video? I was like, is it that easy?
Just do it all out.
Drama. Hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I agreed to do it in the moment. But then I thought about it more, and I was like, I would like lay awake at night and be like, how the fuck are we going to do this?
You were really that stressed about it, huh?
I wasn't that stressed about it, like not working. I was more stressed about just like, I don't know, like how are we
getting in
gonna do it?
trouble?
I mean, that was a little part of it. Yeah. So a couple days before we go, like 3 days before, Mike's like, yo, do you have a permit?
I was just trying to be diligent. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need a permit to hike, right?
No.
But technically you need a permit to film things. But then we looked into it, like the fine print, and it was like 6 or less is okay, which is exactly what we were. So
And
it was like,
or if you have anything that's not handheld.
Correct.
And a drum set's not handheld.
Definitely not.
We were making a good bit of noise. But so like, yeah, Flo was like, yo, let's just do a music video. And I'm like, fuck yeah. He's like, ask Warren, ask Fra. And, Warren, you were super sick. I can't believe you came.
Yeah.
That was so awesome, bro.
Barely made it, but.
Oh my God. And so then like, leading up to it, we have that night with Mike where it's like, oh God, are we going to get in trouble? Like, we're going to get fined like $300 a piece. Like, I'm going to have to take that. I was just like, boys, I'm sorry. I'll take this. Like, I was like, all these things. And we had Ellie doing the camera. I just thought, I was like, okay, we'll just get enough shots and just piece something together and it'll be cool. And like, the other thing I thought was like, okay, am I going to be self-conscious with like a lot of people walking around? Because if you're filming a music video, like, you're not actually playing. Like, and you're lip syncing a little bit. Like you were singing, which I really liked how you did that. I sang pretty quiet.
I had to make it more realistic.
That looking back at it, I'm like, should I have like sang out more? But it looks cool. It's like kind of fits the vibe.
Yeah,
it does.
Chill.
I love looking at the old footage of all the clips I have of you.
Yeah, because I'm actually singing.
And you're just kind of
yeah, exactly. Just
like
the
this
background
mousy
vocal.
light voice and echoing out in this massive open space, this desert.
The valley.
It's like those awkward videos you see on YouTube, like the music videos without sound or whatever.
Oh yeah,
It's exactly
Those are
what it reminded me of.
hilarious.
Yeah, like puttering around. There's some guy growing. Like,
yeah, like the Nicki Minaj one.
exactly. That's what I was reminding. I was like, while I'm doing this filming and watching this, I'm like, oh, this is it'll be something awesome. But it's just funny how that's what they all are. It's people making them. It's just rough movements and
funny.
trying to sync with the music you have on the background.
Well, who inspired me was Fino. Fino
Did he do a video similar to this?
No, he just does his own music videos. Like he makes like since he's had like he's got good listeners now, but when he had like no listeners, he was still putting out music videos for like most singles. Which I was like, how the fuck? Like I always thought a music video will come once you've already established like a following. You have this big budget and all that stuff. And then I would see his. I'm like, this is really fucking creative and really cool. Nice. And so when Flo asked, I was like, dude, fuck it. Like we're an indie band. Let's just make it look indie. We'll just make it work.
Right.
And so, gosh, I want to like go through the day a little bit.
Yeah,
We should go through the song first.
Okay. Mike,
Other Worlds?
I do. No, because here's the thing. We've talked about releasing it. We had the release episode, 2 weeks ago? And I was on that while Flo was away. But I wanted to go back to like how the song even came about because I was trying to retrace it in my own head. And it's been a couple of years now. And I have bits and pieces, but I really want to ask Sir John here, like where it came from, like really, like in the depths of your brain or wherever, what memory, what scenario, because I'll tell you what I have after you describe it yourself from things that I remember at the earliest stages. But
sure,
I want to hear, like, tell me, like, where did this song come from?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to describe in like just a sentence or something.
Right.
But I think it's cool to talk about like kind of how it was made
Yeah, just
a little
walk
bit.
ba- walk backwards into
the
where it
time, the
started.
time in our lives. So
Yes,
like
exactly.
we had just come up with the idea of Celestial. We had written In the Stars, For You, maybe like even Something Real or something. We had a couple songs under our belt, a couple demos.
Yeah, a couple songs that we didn't even progress with.
Yeah.
As well.
Which, if you're a musician, that's going to happen, and it's frustrating at the moment, but then you start the next thing, and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
like we're so much better now.
I'm all about starting the next thing.
Yeah, and so one day we were at Neil's like studio, essentially, and we were working on something, or maybe we were about to work on another song, and I had this like thought of like, I really love the Front Bottoms, and the thing I love about the Front Bottoms is they're a rock band, but they have this like punchy acoustic, like always down strumming sort of vibe. It's very punk rock in a sense. And I just like, I don't know, like that riff, like the like that, just playing that down on the acoustic just sounded really cool. Mm-hmm. And I like it immediately, the melody came to my head. So like sometimes you just get lucky. And I was like, and it just like started, and you were like, oh, that's pretty cool. And we just recorded it. And then this was the coolest thing. So there's a synth in Other Worlds that's like, and it's really heavy and brash. Mm-hmm. And Neil, I think he came up with that like fucking right away. Like
It almost sounds like an organ, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you're talking about, like the main one through the whole song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once that happened, I think I wrote the lyrics while we were there, like almost like instantly.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah, we had that song down, like a demo that sounded pretty good. We had it done in an hour.
Yeah, like a verse and chorus really fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the bass, that was also big time.
Mm-hmm.
When we found that bass patch.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's a big part of the song.
Yeah, and it changed kind of like our whole direction, because if you listen to In the Stars, it's it's acoustic and electric guitar driven. The synths are beautiful and in the stars. Like if you isolate the synths, it's gorgeous. But if you listen to the song as a whole, it sounds very much like a rock and roll song.
Yeah.
Where Otherworld sounds more dreamy, more like, if you think of the word celestial, it sounds more celestial to me.
Spacey euphoric.
Yeah.
Yep.
Space pop.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really cool. And I think at the time in my life, like, there's this thing with Otherworlds where I'll think I understand it completely because I wrote it, and then I'll listen to the lyrics back and it makes me feel like more than like what I initially wrote. So it's like, you know, I sit down, I'm trying, my thoughts are confining. So that's like you're setting the stage of like you're kind of at a point in your life where you're like, you're just frustrated, I guess. And it's not for frustrations based off of like, oh, I need, you know, a new girlfriend or like, you know, like whatever, like a lot of music's about where it's like kind of like the surface things. The whole point of when I write a celestial song is I want it to feel like a bit of existentialism is in there.
Okay.
And so the theme of Otherworlds came of like, what makes it beautiful to me is the I wake up in my dreams.
Yes.
Because that is like when your life is mundane or you're impatient about reaching a goal, or if you're just like, well, is this really what the fuck my life is now? Like if you're 24, 25, 26, like especially in those ages, I think it really hits you. Like you're still a kid in so many ways, and you're now like entering this adult world. But in our version of the adult world, it's not like, oh, you get married, you have a kid. It's like you have people doing all kinds of crazy shit for a living. We live in LA too. So you have like musicians, you have actors, you have influencers everywhere. You have like what feels like soulless ways of making money that are out there. People are very successful. And then you have like jobs, like, you know, engineers, accountants, like salespeople, whatever. And I think every person, or a lot of people now, you kind of look out at the world and you look where you're at, and it's not like you're comparing yourself, but there's this feeling of like almost too many options, and you don't know how to take a step forward. And so it creates this weird loop in your brain of feeling lost and like stuck. And that creates like maybe depression, maybe anxiety, which I wasn't struggling with depression or anxiety in that sense, but like I was just like, what is life? Like life felt weird to me at the time. Like I remember, and I still get this every now and then, but like waking up early in the morning and feeling like almost like it's not real. Like nothing's actually real around me. And it wasn't a depression. It was just like, it felt like life has gone by. And there are moments like being a kid felt really real. Being in college felt really real. But right now, life doesn't feel real to me. It feels like, almost like I'm watching it from a different perspective or something. So the concept of like, I wake up in my dreams is like, you have more control. And like, you don't care about where you're going, because it's just like, maybe you realize you're in a dream or you're not in a dream, but there's not like the threats of anything. Your creativity, who you can be is like exactly how you imagine it. So like that line of like, imagining the beauty that I can be. It's like in other worlds, like in this dream state of like, maybe I'm awake, but it's like a what's real, what's not real kind of thought pattern. And then also accepting that into your real life. Because, and I even told you this the other day, where I was like it's completely up to us how successful we are. I think as an individual, it's completely up to you. Like bad luck's going to happen, all stuff's going to happen. But like if you have that hopeful, I can be anything I want in my dreams, like I'm just going to live out my dreams, you know, forever in the glow. You know, that's how I'm describing that like whole complicated like slew of emotions. It's really all it kind of comes down to that.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's hard.
I absorbed it all. No, that's what I wanted to pick at, and that's why I'm sorry if I hit you with this, you know, by asking these probing questions. But that's what I want to understand more is like those little bits and pieces that they just come piecemeal, and you kind of put them all together to just get this holistic mindset. Because obviously they came from these inner monologues you're having with yourself about the struggles of like, again, life just kind of passing you by, or becoming mundane, or being paralyzed by, you know, the multitudes of choice that people have to do whatever they want, and that's a blessing and a curse. But yeah, just trying to understand that and like how the words just kind of came through.
I think a cool line to me is like in the, like I guess second verse or bridge or whatever, where it's like, I turn back, I'm wide-eyed, in plain sight where I hide. Like you're just walking around the world, like not really present in a sense.
Yeah,
it's
you're
kind
a
of
zombie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're like in your head, which is kind of how things. It's like sight where I hide. To turn white or turn red. Who am I in my head?
That.
So white and red are just like a visual of like peace, serenity, heavenliness is like white, like glow, like angel white kind of stuff.
Okay.
Red is like evil.
Satan.
Yeah, it's like, am I going to...
I didn't even pick that. I never knew that.
Yeah. Well, it's like, am I going to embrace beauty, or am I going to resort to hate and like being
Anger.
jealous and anger?
Yeah.
And that's followed up the imagining the beauty that I could be. So it's like I'm going down this fucking road. I don't care what happens. Like, I believe in the glow. I believe in whatever I can be in these other worlds. Like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I'm accepting it. And I'm never going back. I'm forever in the glow. And it's like, maybe it's crazy, and it's like the whole dream thing of like, what's reality still? And I still don't know. I still like all the time feel like, man, like life's so weird. I can't believe I'm lucky enough to be here making music with you guys and shooting a music video, or being in the studio last night with Flo. And like living where I live, like everything feels so awesome. But at the same time, like the world's crazy and we're still emotional and all this stuff. But I don't care. Like, I'm committing to this path of embracing the power. Like, I can make my future what I want it to be, whether that's work and manifesting, whatever, like all that stuff. It's just creating that mindset to then go forward. Like that.
Damn.
That is a lot of what Otherworlds is. And that's why I like it as like sort of the debut of like the celestial sound.
For sure. 100%.
It is.
But you're also digging deeper than I even realized as far as how you thought through these lyrics. Because again, the first one you mentioned, I sit down, I'm trying my cuts. I remember that one. I remember when you actually kind of put that piece together and you showed it to me. It was in the apartment, I think, still too. It was like maybe right before you met Neil or right around that time. But I also remember at that time, because you'd mentioned the punk roots of that, like when you first gave me that piece of the lyrics, I remember you sounded like you played it back to me like it was a punk song. You're like, I sit down, I'm trying, my thoughts are confining. Like I wake up in my dreams. So it's like very much a first iteration pass. But again, it's the same sentiment, the same emotion, just presented in a different lens. And now with your fusion with the synths, he meets you, that kind of becomes something else. It evolves.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it fits the vibe of the lyrics a little better than if it was a straight punk
100%.
song.
100%.
Yeah. Thank God Neil and I met.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
exactly. But again, it just worked out that way. Somehow, serendipity,
Yeah,
providence.
I was going to say, what's the word, Mike?
I don't know, dude. Fate,
Serendipity.
providence. Yeah, something like that. Kind of like, we'll talk about in a little bit, the video even. Shooting the music video was in itself.
Yeah, but before we even get to that, I want to say, as a songwriter, one of the coolest things about a songwriter is like the person who wrote that song is not the same person who's playing it. You know what I mean? Like when you write a song in a moment, like that is you in that exact moment.
And it's not going to be you the next day or the week after. And it may be a snippet that you use, like we talked about, but it could become completely different or become part of a larger context.
Well, it's like a snapshot of a reflection.
Yes.
And then when you're playing it back, when you're producing it, that's what's so fun. You see all the meaning behind the words that you put down because they came from somewhere, and you maybe had an initial thought. And I think Otherworlds, like I aligned pretty closely with that. But when I heard the synths, when we started mixing it, was David mixed that song.
Yes.
And like, bro, we gave him like literally 20 stems, and he made that much noise out of it. Like it was very
Not
straightforward.
that much, besides all the ear candy.
Yeah.
But like just the foundational instruments, it was pretty bare.
And then he added a little electric guitar, which is sick. It's
Yeah.
like doing like some like undertone, like layering stuff.
Yeah, it's a big addition.
Did a great job, and he fit the bill pretty well. But you really learn from it. Like as it's developing, it starts to connect more, and because like think about this. You feel a certain type of way today or whatever. And maybe it's frustration, maybe it's anger, but you don't know the source of it. You have to like journal, or you have to go to therapy, or you have to reflect somehow to understand like, why did I react that way?
Right.
Same thing with a song. When you make a song, you're like, why did I write this song that way? Like maybe you knew a little bit of it, but when you reflect on it, you look deeper into who you are and where you were in that moment, and you're able to see like, okay, this is what went into that. And this is like the message I want to send. And it's serendipitous, dude. Like I'm telling you, like
That's our word.
I mean, that's what Celestial is. Like
Let's change our band name.
no.
Just write a song with that name, for crying out loud.
Yeah, we should.
Or an album. Throw it in there somewhere.
I challenge Neil to do that. I don't think I could do that. Serendipity's a hard word to throw.
Yeah, that's really hard to put in a song.
Yep.
Yeah, like syllables and things like that.
Just use like the South Park alliteration. Imagination.
Serendipity.
Exactly.
That's funny. So yeah, that's Other Worlds. I mean, Warren, do you have any questions or anything?
When did you write it?
Oh, like
Year and a half.
year and a half ago, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you met more recently than I realized. You two.
Yeah. Well, 2 years ago.
Coming on 2 years, I want to say.
Holy shit! It's only been that much time. It feels like
Yeah, because
3.
I've only been here 3
It
years.
feels like 3 to
and
me,
I think I met
too.
you about a year deep, so
Yep.
it's not crazy long.
No. Yeah. Huh. We've
That's
gotten a ton done.
Yeah,
Bro.
it's a good feeling.
Like
We just boom, boom, boom.
and there's no stopping it. That's what's so cool.
Have you guys told everyone how you met? How did you guys?
Oh,
I
we've
think
talked
we've
about
talked
it.
about
Okay.
it on the podcast. Yeah.
The first episode, Flo left to piss, and I just sprinted through that, and like,
Oh, just the story.
yeah, I was
yeah.
like, yeah. And then we were at the El Cid, and I was just like not good at doing this yet.
Elson, yeah. We talked about guitar pedals, and yeah, I wore glasses at the time.
Bro, the Dahmer glasses.
The Dahmer glasses
they
were
were
baller.
Dahmer glasses.
They were
I think
so-
it's a good look, honestly.
It is.
It's just unfortunate that it is a bit of a
Bro, I literally posted a picture of myself on Instagram, and this dude said like, "This is like, what's up, Jeffrey Dahmer," or something like that.
Oh, dude.
And I was like,
Crushing.
Just embrace it. Bring
Crushing.
it back.
I should have, but it hit me a little bit. I was like, "Fuck you, Nick." Yeah, but it was
Dahmer inspired music video next.
I don't wake up from my dreams ever.
Other worlds are where you're meant to be.
Oh my god.
in my fridge. Bro, did you watch that show?
Yeah, the whole thing.
That is the darkest show
Yeah,
I've
it
ever
was
seen.
intense. Really intense.
I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but it was dark, dude.
Yeah.
I remember afterwards I wanted to like paint my walls a different color because I have kind of like I had kind of like yellow tinted walls, which was very much like the color scheme of that show, and I was like, blue would look good in here.
You know what that is, right? The yellow. That's like the
Like
70s,
70s.
80s.
Yeah, that
Not just the
whole
color
feel.
scheme, but like people smoke, bro. Like it just
Oh,
would get
yuck.
stuck in the walls.
I wonder if that's what caused my
No, they
apartment to be
paint
so
that
yellow.
shit every
Okay,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Some people just like landlords, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I love those like memes. It's like a landlord when he's redoing the apartment, he just like paints over the fucking like wall switches and everything. Just,
And it says fully remodeled.
yeah, it's some kind of law. I think they have to paint it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, but yeah, it was sick. Sick show.
Did we make all of Other Worlds at my old apartment?
That's what I was going to ask next.
We sang it here. We recorded vocals here.
Yes, but I think
Wait.
instrumentally we.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, were you even here yet?
Yes, because remember that video I posted of us like of me sitting on the couch.
You're right. You're right.
I didn't have the lyrics at that time. That was a cool video.
That was
it's a
a great
little
video.
little long for people's attention, I think, as a reel. Like sometimes, like, but if you get to the middle, like when it switches to, it's really cool to hear like the idea and then like the master. I thought
Blossoming.
I would like to see more videos like that of artists doing that.
That's why we
because
got to film at all times.
we pretty much do. I mean, at the studio now, Warren, you haven't been there yet, but basically the camera's just like going nonstop.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, don't do anything weird.
Okay.
Don't scratch any
Oh,
weird
we
places.
do. We do.
Yeah.
John or whoever's editing is gonna have his hands full.
Bro, it takes so long. It takes so long. Like with this music video, like I've been watching so many clips and I'm like, I gotta figure out how to organize this. I'm tempted just to call Tom and be like, yo, can you do this for me?
I mean, Tom's a good editor.
He's
Yeah.
really good. And this would help, I think, I don't know. We'll
Dutch
talk
guy?
after. No, his buddy Tom.
Oh, okay.
He does footage editing for a lot of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Short films, sports mostly, but I mean, he studied film.
Yeah, so he's good at it.
Yeah, he
Hell
knows.
yeah.
He knows the trade.
Bro, Tom the Dutchman would be like 10 grand. So like,
You think so? He charged that much?
bro, oh my God.
Does he? He doesn't even do that though.
I've seen his house. That dude is like
Really?
bowling.
Balling?
Yeah, shout out Tom. If
Bowling
you ever hear
ballin'.
this?
Yeah.
He's a fucking man. God, that's so loud. I always try to sneakily open up a brew.
So what happens for you getting cathedral ceiling type of room here? That's echoey.
This room has great acoustics. It's really
does.
fun to record vocals here because it's so big.
Flo didn't like it though.
But it's more our vibe.
That
Flo,
man
I
hates
feel,
reverb.
Yeah, Flo doesn't like
He
reverb
hates
the way we
reverb.
do. We love reverb, and Flo doesn't. So
He
it's
likes
like,
it now. Yesterday he used the
yeah,
towel.
yeah, I know. We got him to use the reverb plugin we like. But that's a good thing. We come from kind of opposite sides of
Yep.
the reverb enjoyment spectrum.
Right.
And Flo's drum recording for Celestial
Yeah.
has gotten so fucking good. Like,
It's crazy.
Yeah, I was impressed. It's very
Mm-hmm.
different from his like personal style.
yeah,
So he's kind of matured in a sense.
Again, you guys are fusing styles. You're like
Yeah.
evolving by intermixing pretty much.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
the celestial way.
Right.
Tis a fusion.
Well, that's what I was going to ask from what you'd mentioned already with David, because you said he was kind of the first one who did a first pass of mixing, right? With the production of the song. Do you think that in some ways affected how you guys sound today?
Yep.
Okay. With your synths and such and whatever.
Wait, like David's mix? Mm-hmm. Like, did it affect us moving forward, how we do things?
In some way, maybe without knowing or maybe knowing.
I mean, I think we learned a lot from him. I mean, we didn't get to like sit down and really watch him do it, but even just hearing like a before and after definitely kind of opened up my mind to like, you know, what you can do with a pretty bare bones sound,
yeah.
and how to make it sound, you know, big and extraordinary.
David's a legit wizard.
Okay.
Yes,
Dave-
he's really good.
He is like he has a very good ear for mixing and producing and like getting the most out of everything. I would say almost like to an extreme, which is really cool. But like we gave him one electric guitar for his In the Stars mix. It sounded gigantic, which is not easy to do without like having phase issues or like I don't even know, distortion or some weird effect would happen. I mean, he like
Couldn't tell you.
David's very good, but he's busy and he's expensive. So it's like, and also what I really wanted to do was have like organic chemistry with us all. I don't want to fucking shell out like a bunch of money. I mean, like to have your song produced, like you're going to spend money, but like I want it to feel my biggest thing. I don't care if the quality's a little lacking, which it's not. Flow's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But like I want there to be a genuine investment interest in the band's success. Because I want them to know, like, dude, you are fucking part of this. Like, this is not like, oh, I wrote the song, Neil wrote this song, and so, you know, the way we're going to split things up is, like, if we play a show and we're getting paid a lot of money, well, yeah, we just take all the money and, like, we'll pay you, like, a little bit of money. No, if you're along for the ride, like, I want, like, you, fucking Flo, Fra, God, please, Fra, stay available. He's
Don't
too
get
busy.
famous yet.
Yeah. No, props to him. But like,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know, like I want to see that grow for the right reasons, right? Like I want, if they're genuinely interested. And if there was ever a day where like Flo said like, hey man, like I just honestly, FM's blown up. I really want to focus on this. Fine. That's great. But everything he was a part of, I want them to be rewarded for in some way, whether it's just credits, whether it's if we make money, whatever that is. Like I really want it to be like a group effort. And some people would tell you like, oh, that's probably not like the smartest thing to do or whatever. You know what I mean? Like people like say like, oh, don't start a band. Like someone told me this a while ago. Like don't start a band. It should just be you. And then you can just hire people. And I'm like, that's not my
fuck
dream. My dream is not that. My dream is to combine with the right people to create something that I wouldn't create by myself, which is exactly what Celestial is.
Yeah, multiple minds really add to a project.
Which is the
David,
essence of Celestial anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And David, what was so cool, sorry, before I forget, what's so cool about David when we had him mix in the stars is our production skills weren't as good as they are now at all. Like
definitely not.
we recorded, dude, David took the live recording from Scott's studio and made a very good mix.
He did.
A very
Yeah.
alive, fucking
Yeah.
fat DI
with like
acoustic.
4 instruments, maybe 6.
No layers on guitars.
No, we didn't know what we were doing as much. But he made it sound great.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't what
It
is
wasn't
now.
our style quite yet.
No, we were
It
figuring
was
it out.
very
It was just pushed,
yeah, it was heavy.
which is at the time kind of what I mean. If we look at like we were describing it, I think that way, and also with what
Yep.
we gave him, and it's just his natural instinct to do that as a mix engineer. Which fucking props, dude. Like most people couldn't do that,
Oh no.
you know. But that did when David mixed those 2 songs. It did help me understand that what we can be, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and I think hearing that, it's again like another reflection of like, well, what is this becoming? Reassess, understand it. How do we grow the good parts? And that was a critical part for me is hearing those those mixes. So
1,000%.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I mean, even like, I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast yet, but we got like an offer, semi-sketchy offer to record at a big studio in LA with this kind of
Master.
sketchy. That's the most flattering word
Wait,
I
do
can
I
use.
know about this?
I don't think so.
don't
With
think I
this
do.
kind of flattering guy. He was asking for a lot of money, but to be honest, like that's what David would ask for too for that amount of songs ultimately.
dude, yeah.
But even though that didn't work out, we actually learned a lot from that experience
Yep.
as well. Like that after that we were kind of committed to adding like a bunch of guitar layers and everything helps.
That dude
You
really
know?
helped us. Yeah. And so I guess to tell the story a little bit, Warren, for you.
Yeah.
So like one day, I think you just told me like, oh, you got to come to my buddy's place. You're like, he's a little weird, but he's smart. And like, he kind of reminds me of someone who like used to be addicted to drugs. And I was like, huh.
Or
Like,
currently still is.
All of the above.
bro. And we go over there, and he's a really nice guy. Like, I don't want to I'm not gonna say his name or anything because he was very nice and supportive of us. Said very nice things about
Very
Clstl Show.
nice, yeah.
Like he was like, and this is the funniest comment I've ever received. But it was like, because I don't relate to this at all. But he was like, bro, you guys could be like the next Imagine Dragons.
I knew you would say that.
Interesting.
And I was like, that is like the farthest thing from my influence. But that's a huge band and they make tons of money. And like,
Sounds good.
not that it's about money, but like if you're telling me like, hey, you could be a giant success based off hearing one song by us, like I'll take that compliment. So that inspires us. And you're like, yeah, come over. And so like late night after we're like working at Neil's place, we go over there and it's a nice studio in the sense of what it is. Like it's very, very fucking cool.
Yeah, it was a nice studio.
But the vibes were not like in that studio. Like you walk into our studio.
Feels good. That
feels so
studio
good.
had like that feeling like when you're at like a modern art museum and it's just kind of open and very white. And
Or a modern sushi restaurant.
We can talk about that later.
Oh no.
But
Sorry.
to me, it felt like a lot of unfinished, ambitious tasks. Like when I was in there.
that sums them up, I feel.
Yeah, like there'd be like, oh yeah, I'm rebuilding this old synth, and he would just be like, click, 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 like clicking on it. So, and I'd just be like, man, I don't think it's working right. Like just all these like things, like legendary stuff, but not. And then so he's talking to us, and he's super fucking nice. Like I wish him all the success in the world, but I'm going to be very honest on this podcast throughout this story. So he talks to us, and we showed him the mix David did, and he was like, man, I'm just not really impressed because we both liked it. We're like, wow, okay, like I kind of like this. And he's like bringing up like the wave on his computer. We're like listening to it. He's like, see, it's just a big sausage. Like there's no dynamics. It's just a big sausage. And we're like, huh. And then like I think we told him there's only one guitar. He ended up giving a lot of props to David for what we gave him because I think you maybe even sent him the stems.
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he
And
had
he
like
did a good job actually. I watched him mix it on the spot a little bit.
really. Yeah, he's a talented dude.
Yeah.
Like no doubt about it. Committed his whole life to music. Like honestly. And so he randomly calls you, I think a day or two later or something like that, and he's like, hey man, like I have this amazing opportunity. We're going to this studio downtown. Black Keys are recorded there. Like, oh, it's this guy, and like, there's some drug problems with like the guy who owns it, so he's giving us a deal. You guys should record some of Clstl stuff. And we're like, what? Okay. And like, so we go down there one day, and it is the most interesting environment. Like the studio was unbelievable.
It was
like,
amazing.
Like it's like Black Sabbath recorded there or something. Like there's pictures on the walls of all these artists and like these old like Gibson guitars and like
Nice.
there's a fucking bat in a jar or something like that. Like
Yeah.
It's headless bat you bit off.
Yeah, like a baby doll head and shit like that. I have pictures still.
Was it?
oh, we'll post them with the post. Yeah,
You said it's downtown.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Big building, old building,
old.
old warehouse.
Yeah, and the guy comes out to meet us is like this UK guy.
Yeah, a bit older.
Hello, chaps.
Exactly. Yeah, he's like, yeah, come on, Chris. Oh, I don't want to say his name. Like,
Very like kind of grumbly. Hello, chaps.
yeah, like he'd been on cocaine for
Yeah,
15 years.
Yeah, a long time.
Nice guy. Again, all really nice people. We go up there, and our friend is recording a song, one song, and we know the price they gave us for songs, and the amount of money or whatever debt he was owed must have been significant because this dude put tons of effort into recording this song.
Yeah,
tons.
I think like probably at least 10,000 for one song.
Yeah. I mean, it had a full engineer the whole time. Like the way the room was laid out, it was like this. Actually, it was like kind of like a loft, and upstairs was like closed off, and it was a control room.
Okay.
Where like the mix engineer sat, and downstairs they had like different setups for whatever. They had a big like drum hood or umbrella kind of thing. And that drummer was amazing.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
And that guy kept telling us, like, oh, you got to get him the drum. You got to get him the drum. And I was like, I really like Flo. I don't know. He's like, bro, but he's like a robot. He's so good. And I'm like, well, again, back to my, like, it's like intuition.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time I had this feeling like, this is wrong. Like, somehow this is not supposed to be our path.
You had good intuition about it. I was very, like, starstruck by everything. I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, dude, Neo, when he told us that number, Neo gave me a call one day. And he was just like, bro, you hit me with a fucking bomb. You were like don't you want to do this? Like, don't you want to like quit your job and do this? Stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, but I think I'm going to be in debt after we do this. Like, it was a lot of money. But I respect your passion.
It was 10,000.
It was 20 at first.
No.
Yeah, I swear to God, the first number they gave us was 20 grand.
I remember
like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember it being enough that
5 songs.
20 is crazy.
Yeah, you even had a side comment being like, "This is a lot of money. It seems like it's really risky." I'm like, I mean, I'm not part of the band, but it became a big discussion because it is. It's a big step and it's a tangent.
I thought we got it down to like 12 or something.
We did, but it took conversations, and like then the guy who was going to mix it was the guy who worked with Pink.
Yeah.
So they were
Pink's
like,
mix engineer.
Yeah, and he was like, bro, he's amazing. Like, he wants to work with you guys, and never once said a word to us, which is like, we're hearing it through somebody.
Right.
And he's from Australia. He's going to be in town for a week. We got to pay for his flight, or he's paying for his flight.
And
like,
that was the kicker. That's where even when you told me that, to me, not again.
That sounded sketchy.
It's like limited time offer. Act now, it's going to go away. To me, again, nothing wrong with it. Maybe it works out really well if you do it, but same thing. It was just kind of like the vibe of the whole thing. Just seems so like act now or lose it forever. And it's like, well, if that's the case, what's the story about you thinking I'm a real brand here, that I actually have my potential? If that's true, it doesn't matter what my timeline for work is.
That's true.
Right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, but no, it was interesting. I was just observer of it, but the whole thing to me, I was just like, whoa. I'm just glad it wasn't my choice to make.
Yeah.
It was tough, man.
Yeah,
that was
tough.
That was really hard to like, not say no to, but like wonder, am I going to get another opportunity like this? Which is funny because it wasn't a great opportunity because we were paying for it. You know, like if they said like, if it would have been an opportunity where it's like, hey, we'll pay for it, but you have to be here for 2 weeks straight. And if somehow it would have messed up my life outside of just music, like I would have, maybe missed work or something. I don't know. If there would have been different circumstances, it would have felt more painful to say no to. But I'll be honest, when we decided not to do it,
it was very relieving.
Very relieving.
Very relieving.
That's how I knew it was the right decision.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
like
regret
a weight
it.
off our shoulders. I agree.
Bro, the money was just like, oh my God. Like that was a lot. And then we heard his song, and I was like, dude, we can. It's a good song, but like the quality was just like any. It
wasn't
other song.
crazy, yeah.
It's like
not at all.
Just like recording at our place, like to an extent. So, anyways, that was a very interesting tangent,
but developmental
super
to the sound that happened like right when we were making Other Worlds. So
yep.
Again, maybe that experience affected somehow,
could be
some way. Just hearing those little snippets of that gentleman from Pink doing his thing.
Well,
you got some Pink in there.
No, for real. He said he was watching a mix and he had like 10 guitar tracks, and you couldn't even really hear much guitar. And he was like, "Yeah, there's like 10 layers of guitars in this song." Wow. And I was like, "Huh." Because you're just picking the right frequencies of each or whatever. Like one's coming in here and one's coming out. Like, and so it taught us like, okay, we can layer better. We can, I don't know, just put more into the production to then clean up in the mix versus having a mix engineer build up sound out of maybe less, essentially.
Right.
Neo, can you check the camera, the phone, to see if it's still recording? Should I double check?
We need that valuable footage.
I mean, it'd be cool. I'm wondering. I'm like, I can't record this much.
We're still here. We hope you are too.
Yeah. I was going to live stream it, but then I was like, I don't know if that's going to work out so well. We will eventually live stream the podcast.
Yep.
But
everyone's going to know how sexy Warren is in the world.
Exactly. You're going to have all the audio hooked up and everything, or it will just be able to hear?
I will align it. Yeah. That's
just
the best
layer
way to
it.
do it. Just
easy
like
edits.
But not when you live stream?
No, yeah, when I live stream, we'll have the audio hooked up.
Really?
Exactly, yeah. This thing can do that.
Wow.
This somehow, or some way. There's a bunch of, there's like, whatever, lightning ports on it.
Cool.
So you can, this thing's really powerful. It's really cool. We use it for the most basic application.
I see.
And it's pretty.
It is?
It is pretty. Yeah. So, yeah, should we get into the other world's day?
We could.
Yeah, I think we should segue.
It's up to you. I wanted to ask, I don't even know, again, it just depends on what you've gone over on the podcast.
Ask.
Where did Warren come in? Where did Warren come in on this?
Heaven.
He's the white man.
Straight
I'm
from
the
heaven.
white man. I was the last edition, right?
That's what I want. Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah,
Like,
even after Fra, I believe.
I can't believe you said yes.
Yeah, it was.
Come on.
You were still in Boston when we had first started, I believe.
Yep.
And I want to say I had used you to play synth on one of my songs prior to Celestial, and that kind of got our collaboration going. Mm-hmm. And then Flo was like, he's coming to town.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I think I specifically said to John, like, dude, this guy's really fucking good. Like, we should ask him, but don't get your hopes up. But
I always hear
you
this
were
from
with it.
people.
I mean, it's just
I don't
true.
know what it is. It must be
There's-
my resting
No,
demeanor.
it has
just
nothing
looks scary or
nothing to do with
something.
your personality at all. It's more just that, like,
Sure.
when someone is super talented, like, there's just a degree of like, oh well, they must, be picky, And I've had
I should
people
be more picky in
I've
general.
had people, yeah,
I should.
Yeah.
I definitely should. But
this was a good pick.
this was a good
Yeah,
pick.
this was a
Exactly.
good
No,
one.
there's a lot of reasons. I mean, why someone will choose a gig, and I feel like you guys check off a lot of boxes, and just the main one being just making things happen, keeping the drive.
yeah,
You have the resources, you have the creativity, the will to do it. You'll make shows happen out of nothing. You make videos happen out of nothing. I mean, that's like number one. Me and Flo were talking about this. I mean, I'd rather play with someone like that than someone who's sort of already successful, but just very dry, like any day of the week.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Fuck, man. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's an everyday thing. It's never not on my mind.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it's like,
Same.
what can we do next? What can we do next?
Yeah, but it shows. I mean, it really does. Like you said, like just a year and a half. Look how far you've come. You're already on the second album as far as creation, music videos.
Well, I think a lot of people get hung up on like, oh, I need to get listeners. I need to do X, Y, Z. And I'm just like, bro, I'm happy we don't have a lot of listeners at this point. Like, I'll get frustrated about it every now and then. I'm like, why are people not like sharing this or whatever? But then I think, I'm like, dude, every band I've ever found, I've found them like after an album or two. Very, very seldom will I find a band that's like literally just starting. It's nice to also find a
Very
band
rare.
and like hear all their fucking music. You know what I mean? And like watch a video or two. Or
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's every time we drink beer. It's like I love the idea of building the project
Yeah.
and just getting better. And thank God for you guys too, because you drive me in a crazy way. Because I'm always thinking like, okay, if they're investing time into this, like, how do I make this as easy as possible? That's why I was so nervous about the video, because I was like, man, they're gonna drive all the way out there, and it'll be a cool day, but like, it better work.
It
Like,
was a drive too.
It was a drive. God damn.
Yeah, it was
Good
worth
drive,
it though.
though.
So worth
It was
it.
beautiful.
Especially the way Flo was driving.
Oh,
the
I
Kia.
had a different drive than you guys, that's for sure.
Flo was whipping.
Tell us about that. How was the drive? What did Flo do?
Oh, dude. I think we definitely hit 140 a couple times. We did donuts somehow with a
Yeah, we
front
saw
wheel
that.
drive car, like both on the pavement and on the dirt.
Yep.
We went down, found this like alien radio tower. We thought it was a museum. Almost popped the tires and got stuck down there.
How far ahead of us were you guys?
We were far. We stopped for a while and we were out there like looking at some rocks. And of
I
course
didn't
he was
even realize.
pissing and whatever.
I watched him disappear into the horizon.
Oh yeah.
And I'm in the little Jeep that thing's like a fucking toy box. It's just like,
Yeah, you have a car full of gear and people
Yeah.
sleeping in the back, and Flo's like, stuck behind you, like
Can't deal with the speed
can't deal
or
with it.
lack of speed.
And then on the way back, he wanted me to drive, but he was like trying to edit the whole time, and I forgot my license. And he had driven like 140 on the way there, so I'm like, this is a lot of pressure. Like, what do? I can't drive 140. I forgot my wallet. Like, I'm gonna get arrested.
You can't get pulled over.
I was afraid of hitting some sort of animal, so I was driving pretty slow.
Yeah.
The way back was dark.
Yeah, it was really interesting because you could only see what the lights were showing you, and just knowing you're in this like expanse,
Yep.
Middle of nowhere, desert.
valley, but you just can't see it.
But you could see what
cool.
was above.
Yeah,
the
stars.
Stars.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it felt like, and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound funny, and like, judge me if you want. I don't know, but like, literally the night before that, I always visualize shit. If I'm worried about something, like whether it's a presentation, a show, I'd really try to meditate and like visualize how it's gonna happen and get myself comfortable in that space before I do it. And like, it's almost like a form of prayer in a sense, in a weird way, but like you're just talking to yourself and like, please make sure this goes well, like whatever, all these things. Like, I don't know. But the night before I was like, all right, like I'm going to really put effort into this. Like, and when I think of Celestial and everything it means and you guys and all this stuff, it was the most fucking perfect execution of what we wanted to do.
Couldn't
Like,
agree more.
The sand dunes at the end of the day, like,
Dude, the sunset.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Even after this is where I believe you, and that's what I'm saying. The things just work out. It happens. You have no control over it. I remember explicitly saying, we're in the desert. We're not near the coast. There's no clouds. There's not going to be a cool sunset.
Oh, there was.
And then it was one of the most amazing, beautiful sunsets I have seen in a long, long time.
Wow.
And that's
gorgeous.
another thing you should put on the
Oh
clips,
yeah.
the images.
Oh, there'll be a lot of posts for this
Dude,
one.
mind blown. I mean, literally goes all the way from the spectrum of red at the bottom to
Yeah.
like dark blue at the top.
It was a rainbow.
Rainbow clouds, the moon with the sunset. I was like, what the is this? This isn't real. This is
Warren
trippy.
doing his flip.
Attempting.
Yes, the flip, dude.
100
Oh
tries.
yeah, that was sick though.
No,
That was
you should
sick.
put that on there too. You have to put the video of him flipping.
I
Yeah.
saw it on his Instagram the other day. I get to send
I would have
send it to
snapped
me.
my neck if I had even attempted. So you were pretty impressive.
You'd have opened up a portal, dude. Your body's so big, just like
Yeah, I just fall into the sand.
Rips gravity.
It's
a dude that big flipping around.
Well, we talked about this. The spin away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the meme.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, it was a truly amazing experience.
Yeah. So let's go through it. So like,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
wake up in the morning.
We started with, again, we talked about Death Valley. You said that. I talked about it. Why Death Valley though? What was the final determination?
It looks like fucking Mars, dude. It's
Yeah.
otherworldly.
yeah.
It
That's
is.
literally it. And it's desolate. Like everyone goes to Joshua Tree. And I originally thought like maybe Joshua Tree. And I looked up pictures and I was like, that's not what I want. I want fucking Mars. Like I want this
Yeah.
to look like, and it looks like
It looks
Mars.
like Mars.
Damn
Or
right.
Venus.
Yep.
Oh, I've never been to Venus.
Less steamy.
Less steamy, less
Yeah.
gaseous.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So Death Valley, just because it looked like another fucking planet, and I'd seen Flo and I looked up a couple of videos. He sent me a couple of people who shot there, but the one was on like the salt beds
Yeah, salt
or
flats.
salt basin, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a different vibe, but I knew they had what I was looking for. And this is crazy. So, anyways, like, I guess, well,
You wake up.
yeah. Well, let me say this first. So, like, no, we'll get there. So, because I want to go through this chronologically. So, wake up, and it's like 5:30. We wanted to leave by 6. Immediately text the boys like, hey, 6:15. Like, give me a couple more minutes. Like, I just got a shower. Like, I'm like making sure everything's in the car. Don't forget anything,
Yep.
because I'm like, all right, triple check, make sure everything fits. And I wasn't sure about you because I was like,
I wasn't responding to the group chat.
yeah. And Neil, you also partied a little bit the night before.
Yeah, I went to bed at like 3.
Bro, you were
Woke
so,
up at 5.
But you're a trooper, though. You
Yeah.
do that
Yeah,
pretty
dude.
effectively.
I did it. Yeah, I can do it. I'm used to
Vigorous
all
youth.
nighters.
It was impressive. And so, yeah, basically, you showed up first, I think. And then I call Mike, and Mike's like, I don't even know if I should say what you said, but like, basically, you're just like, I call you, and you're like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I woke up like 10 minutes ago. Like,
I set my alarm to PM instead of AM.
We've all been there.
I haven't done that in forever.
Oh, no.
He's who woke me up. It was his call, and I was like, "Why is my phone going off?" I was like, "Oh shit!
Oh fuck, I'm an idiot.
Exactly.
That's a pretty bad feeling, but you made it. You were
made
like,
it.
"Give me 10
Yeah.
minutes," and you were so key in this. You were so key in this. We'll
made
get
all
to
the
it.
difference.
Yeah, huge fucking difference. So, anyways, like you and Flo show up, cool cats.
Cucumbers. Yeah.
A couple
Black
of cool
Kia.
cats showing up in the illegally tinted Kia.
Yeah. A
Let's
couple
go.
espressos in
Oh my god.
by 5 a.m.
Yeah, it just like sunglasses on. Let's fucking hit the road. Hit the 7-Eleven for some snacks, and then like immediately. I mean, the thing about LA, if people don't live here, at least where we live, you can access very vast nature very quickly. It's
it.
like 30, 40 minutes, and you are in desert, like legit desert, which looks really cool. And even there, like, we were an hour out, and I was like, "Ooh, we could do it there. We could do it there." Like all these spots. But I really want to get to Death Valley. I really want to see it. And so we hit this drive. We stopped at this restaurant. What was it called?
Autos. Diner.
Autos.
Autos.
Yeah. Otto's Diner. That was cool. Mike also said the same inappropriate thing he said in the morning in front of a victim of said insult, which was fucking hilarious to think back to. That must sting a little bit, but you're just like, put it in the past, whatever.
That's how I feel.
Those
about it.
portions.
Him and I would get along real well. Dude, the chicken fried steak was so good.
It was good.
Yeah, that was a hefty meal.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's when I started to feel pretty good about the day. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, this is pretty cool. This worked out really well. Let's keep going. And then it was just like driving through crazy little towns like out in the desert and just like desolate type environments. But it was really cool, and it started like making me feel like kind of how celestial, like this adventure and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess it was pretty funny. At one point, we were going down that hill on the other side into the valley, and my brakes were like,
Oh yeah. The rotary or whatever.
The rotors were they're just older. They're getting a little warped, so they make that. feedback.
Ellie was scared. Every hill she was like, "Are we gonna die?"
she loves to apply a little anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're fine.
I'm just in the back snoring, couldn't give less of a fuck.
I'm sorry, dude. I took a video of you while you were sleeping. Dude, you were just like praying mantis up against the
I
wall.
know.
like,
I'm a big guy, and I was in the back seat, so finding a position to actually sleep in was rather challenging. But I was tired enough. When you're tired enough, you make it work.
Yeah. It's like a plane.
Yeah, it was very much like economy.
Dude, every time I'm on a plane when I'm exhausted, I never sleep with my mouth open, but I'll catch myself like on a plane just like,
Yeah,
and I'll
you
wake
get
up
the
and I'm like,
guppies.
oh God, I'm so sorry for anyone who saw me. Like it's so embarrassing. When you wake up with your mouth open, like you're just like,
Heads on your neighbor's shoulder.
I have to ask this. Do you guys ever twitch awake on a plane?
Yeah.
Like you're asleep and you're,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
why is that? Where does that come from?
I used to do that during class.
Ooh.
But let's not
all
get
the
into that.
time. Yeah.
It's like anxiety induced or something where you're just like, where am I? You know?
Oh, I was thinking more of the middle seat.
Yeah,
like,
that's
head
what I
bob
thought
thing.
too. Just like
That's what I mean, like a
snapping away.
twitch. Like
Yeah.
you're almost asleep and then
Well, I
you're
think
like,
it feels like you're falling like in a dream, and then you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
You ever do the forehead on the seat in front of you in the middle seat? Just like I softly lay down there so they don't notice, and I just like, just
That's
like
what I do every time. I go full 90
There's
degrees.
no chance you
or
have
like
to.
more than that. Like,
Neo, I just want to see that one day. You just like fucking head against the seat in front of you.
that's what I do on a plane every time.
Honestly, this is gonna sound gross, but like one time, like a real big fat dude sat next to me, and at first I was like, God damn it, this guy
it's just space. It's
spilling
hard.
into my seat.
Yeah.
You
I
kidding
always
me?
get a little mad too.
You
After a
took
little bit,
advantage.
I was like, I'm comfortable.
It's like a pillow.
Bro, honestly,
warm.
it supported me a little bit, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, if you're cool with it, I'm cool with it. Like,
That's fucking hilarious. I always have like knee wars in my seat with the people next to me.
I mean, Neil, your knees are
Yeah.
out there. So,
Yeah.
long femur.
yes.
Yeah, so we're getting there, and but then once we get over the hill, it's like we're in Death Valley, and I had this weird feeling. I noticed like how I feel without cell service is not how I want to feel without cell service. Like I was slightly like, this kind of sucks. Like not having
sketchy.
phone service, and like if we get a flat tire or something stupid. Got over that real quick. We get in, and we had to like buy our little passes and stuff. And I'm like, this is really cool. But there was a good amount of people there, and I was like, fuck. Like I had like a spot picked out, and I was like,
Zembreski Point or whatever it was.
yeah. And I was like, it might be like crowded. I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. Like, if it's really crowded, like, we'll definitely get talked to. Like, someone's going to be a dick. Of all the
Someone
people,
will be a Karen.
Yeah,
Karen
and
will
then
come
no
out.
doubt.
Yeah, and so we're driving, and we're like, oh, right there, maybe, and like kind of these areas, but they were very visible from the road. And then, you want one of these? Oh, that. And then, dude, this is where like I think like the universe, like
Providence.
God, whatever, like had
Serendipity.
some sort of plan for us because we're driving and we see this RV turn down this dirt road.
Yes.
And it's like going towards the most beautiful backdrop I've seen yet. And like we're like, oh fuck yeah, let's just follow that RV. We go there. There's 2 cars there.
Yep.
And
This
I'm like,
little dirt road.
It was perfect.
Not marked. Just right off the highway. Same thing. And John saw us like, whoa, what is this? You know?
It's a little
Not
roundabout.
planned. And I think Zambreski, I think I mentioned this to you when we were passing that Oasis like hotel or whatever. I think we were supposed to go straight if we were intending to go to the original spot you wanted
Yes.
to go to, but we didn't. Probably because you look at it and you're like, oh, ranger station or checkpoint. Why? I don't need to go. It's clearly this way. It's the path of least resistance. Why? Just did it.
And it worked out.
And it worked
The backdrop was
out.
gorgeous.
oh my god,
It worked
And
out.
the location too. Like,
Yeah.
All
so
of it.
we get there and like I'm like, all right, well, I'll walk this way, bring the guitars.
You were gonna go far
Yeah.
out.
I know.
It was a deceivingly
Yes.
long distance.
That's why.
like
And when you started to go
Yes.
there, I was like, we're not going to see Warren
No,
again.
dude.
He thinks he's going to be like this tall on the mountain, and like by the time you got there, you're like this tiny speck.
yeah.
I was running and running like I haven't run since middle school, dude. And I was not getting any closer. And every rock I landed on almost twisted my ankle.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No, it was great. No, I remember
so-
that scoping out the spot.
Yeah.
But dude, when we found the spot, this is what's crazy because I was like, oh, over here, and like 20 feet to my left, because Ellie was like, no, it has to be like this, and she had the vision. So like, I respect what she was saying. It was like we were all kind of in this like state of like, no, I like it here, you like it here, kind of
I'm
thing.
just trying to figure out that happy zone.
And
yeah.
then when we found that spot, I think you finally
stage.
pointed it out.
The stage, bro.
It was literally a built-in stage.
Well, because Ellie kept saying, and that's what I'm giving her credit for. She's like, I have to be below them,
Yep.
so I can get a vantage point of like the background, not be too like drowning in the face of them.
That was smart.
But at the same time, where I was like, and where I like for it found, I was like, okay, it's below them because it was like a little stage, and like the creek bed was like the bottom part. But then right behind you was like a little berm, so it gave kind of a depth perception. You're able to see like just this tiny little hill behind you guys on the
Yeah.
stage, and then the valley behind it, and then the big mountain.
Yep.
So
Layers.
it just it worked exactly the
Yeah.
layers. It just worked out
Yeah.
somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And the right angle again, the biggest mountain behind you guys, like the rock at the bottom, like the blue sky. Yeah, it's like what the hell? How did
Bro,
this?
and then
how did this work?
Flo bringing his blue drum set,
Yeah,
and all of us wearing
Good
white.
call.
Oh my god,
The
dude!
blue on the yellow, complimentary.
Unbelievably good.
Complementary
Those
colors.
pictures I posted today were black and white, but the video is not going to be black and white.
Yeah, don't let them see the full scope of it yet.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take me like at least a week or two to finish that because next week I'm going to be out of town. But like,
Tom will help.
we might. I mean, honestly, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, and then Warren, one of the coolest things you did. This is why I fucking love you, dude. You're so cool. Like, so we had these like hikers walk by, and I was like, "Oh, let's just wait till they walk by." And you like said, like, "I don't mean to like burst anyone's bubble, but like, if we stop every time there's a hiker, we're never gonna get this done." And I was like, "You're such a rock star."
Yeah, that was a good call.
Great call, and we just got going.
Yeah. I think they liked it. They were like, oh, this is neat.
I saw one
They were
smile.
Yeah, they were into it.
Yeah, I think who was it? Maybe John. Someone waved.
John waved to all the hikers we saw, which was a good call.
Yeah.
I want to be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a good
I mean,
guy.
come on, that they should like it. How often do you get a live music performance while you go hiking?
No sound of the guitars.
Just
or the
drums,
keys.
really. Yeah,
Play the speaker.
Still cool.
Dude, and the
Flow
Bluetooth
sounds great.
speaker, you know what I mean? Like
It worked.
Everything, dude.
Yeah.
That has to be like one of the. I mean, I know a lot of low budget music videos like work, but when you see the end result with that low budget, like that is really cool. And the thing I liked about it, what's cool about it, so like Mosaic Coyote, shout out Mosaic Coyote. They shot a music video in Joshua Tree. It's sick. Listen to Mosaic Coyote. They're doing great stuff. Really cool band. They're gonna come on the podcast at some point if they say yes. I still have to ask them. But Andrew was down at first. But like theirs is like very performative, like different scenes and things like that. Ours, this is what I wanted, and I think what Flo wanted to, and I think the direction we were going. We're Celestial. Celestial, the goal is to play incredibly good live shows. I want to be a very good live band. Big, like theatrical. We have all the skills and like all the tools to do it. Giving Warren like free reign in between songs to make like really cool ambient sounds and things on the synth and just go wild and have things run into each other. I don't want to be a band that's like giving a speech necessarily between every song. I want it to be a 2-hour performance of like big, cool visuals. Like they kind of take a little bit out of the EDM DJ performances, and then like Coldplay does this kind of stuff. Like just a big performance. So when I think of our music videos, like I want it to be live. I want it to look like we're just playing a song. Like I want people to see it and think, oh, I want to see them live. Not like, oh, this is a music video of like me walking down the street, like, kind of thing.
Yeah. You want them to see the live potential.
Yeah.
Like, this is a band worth going to see at a big venue. Drop some bills on it.
Yeah. I mean, if at that point that would be, that's what we're meant for. I really think Clstl Show is meant for like big shows.
It sounds very stadium-like. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. I thought it was your noggin.
Me too.
That's funny. But yes, and we start like recording, and Ellie did this really cool thing. She was like, all right, everyone take a breath. Like, we were like,
Yeah.
And then I felt like relaxed more. And then it was just like, all right, let's just have some fun. Let's just play this song a shit ton of times. And it was really fun, and it went really well. Mike, you were like, dude.
Drum bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, besides drum
mule.
bitch, which was so
I liked
funny.
that challenge. I like.
Yeah.
If I was just like take all my shit, I'm like, I will definitely take all your shit. I'm gonna trudge up this desert hill. All this training will pay off. My weightlifting. It was fun, actually. I enjoyed it. And then
Well, besides drum bitch, you were a critical part of getting
Integral.
shots.
well, thank you. Yeah, just pulled out the iPhone Pro and was like, let's do this.
Honestly, dude, like some of the best shots I've seen.
Is everything you posted today from Mike?
Yeah. I haven't
Fuck
posted
yeah.
anything from the camera.
Wow.
The camera takes some editing. Like we
Yeah.
have to like make it work. That's sick too, bro. When you see like when it's a montage, like
Oh, yeah.
if some of the videos are kind of like not like boring to watch, but I guess boring to watch because when you're editing it, like we have shots of each individual for the whole playthrough, and when you're watching that, like it can feel like this is stale. But I took a few clips and just like put them all together, and just to see what it would look like, sick, dude. It is really nice.
Hell yeah.
Like both of them, and the quality of the iPhone is just as not just as good, but for the shots you were
I
taking.
was surprised. I'd
Yeah.
never done anything like that with it before. Most of it just watch videos on it or Instagram. But
No, your
I was like,
camera
wow,
is great.
they keep promoting the commercial. Let's see what this bad boy can do.
And it does good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
some of them were fun. I didn't have any plan. It was just like, oh, this looks like a good angle, and you roll with it.
You did a great job. It made a big difference.
Yeah, but it was fun. No, and again, I can give credit to Ellie because she was really instrumental in like getting the angle set up, like where to take shots from perspective wise. And then she was like, all right, if we're both shooting, like make sure we don't get in each other's way. Like we have to coordinate that. I was like, okay, like things I wouldn't think about.
It was kind of funny watching you get out of her way.
Jockey, because she's primary footage shooter.
Yeah, of course.
She's head honcho shooter, so I gotta let her get angles. I get the leftovers, but I'll find good angles too. And it worked.
Thank God for her. Like
Yeah.
for
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she is down to help in
Yeah,
every
she's
single
awesome.
way. Like holy
MVP.
shit. Yeah,
MVP.
100%. Yeah.
Not a lot of women would do that for her rock star boyfriend, husband.
Calm down, dude. Calm down.
Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, no, it was huge. But yeah, and then once we were done, like the vibes were just like there's few moments in life that feel like that to me. Of
agree.
like, and I've had all of them in California. For me, they've all all those moments in my life have been in California. I remember I had a birthday a couple of years ago, and we day drank, we got hammered, and we were watching the sunset over by Santa Monica. And I don't know why everyone just like not cried, but everyone got like teary eyed and like hugging each other. It's just like a moment of like what joy life can bring you.
Yep.
And that's how I felt when we finished that, and we're all just like we're walking around. We all did those little like videos of like other worlds, like whatever, like here we are doing other worlds, that kind of thing. And it's really cool. It was just like
I liked all of it. I mean, that's the thing. It was just
too.
the whole experience, everything from start to finish. Even the little things like Ellie and John, like, oh, I'm doing this. Like just recording like the basic like interactions. Like I documented even just the stuff that was happening. Like there's a lot of videos, and I was going to tell you to do that, and I'm sorry I didn't separate them, but like you have a lot of good footage for like future documentary if you wanted to do it. Just videos of you talking with Ellie, you guys talking amongst yourselves.
Cool.
Flo being like, "There's a fucking bee on my head."
It was a fly.
I know, it was hilarious though.
It
Just
was a fly.
all the little in betweens of just things like fixing certain things during the takes, switching back to other takes, all the stuff. You going to dig for the rock, like
Yeah, a little
tossing the water bottles,
fossil
Little
excavator.
fossils.
all the little things that needed to be done.
you found a snake's nest.
I believe so.
Rattlesnake.
Reptile.
That's so
A lot of poop, a lot of hair and bones.
Ew. As long
Don't
as you
say ew, it was cool.
just don't get bit.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of freaked out, actually.
Pull a Mike
Stick
Posner.
your-
Didn't Mike Posner get bit by a?
I gotta go.
Oh yeah. We're good. Yeah, 5:30. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll talk more about this with Flo. But yeah, closing remarks. We'll start with you, Warren.
A day I will never forget for many reasons. But, I mean, even just on the way back, just the stars were crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it from your perspective. Like, if I had to put on, like, plan that day and have, like, 5 people come along, there's no way I could have planned it that perfect. Like, every stop where we stopped on the highway to look at the stars, where we stopped to eat, everything was just, like, flawless.
But it wasn't
timeless.
really planned.
Yeah, right. No, I know.
That's the only way it could have worked.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, he put on the best day for us. And I don't even know, like,
It was meant to be.
yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really think like it. Like, I don't know. A lot in my life right now feels like it's meant to be, and I'm just like riding it. It's like let's just go. Like keep going. Don't stop. Like this is too much fucking fun.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I love my life right now.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Neil,
Yeah.
closing remarks.
You take me into the desert off 2 hours of sleep and, you know, a respectable amount of alcohol. Yeah, I'll still show up.
You did a great job. You looked the most punk in the video, which I thought was really
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah,
I was living the lifestyle for sure.
yeah, it was a cool look, dude. All of us looked so good.
Yeah.
Bunch of cool dudes.
Cool dudes.
Yep.
All right, Mike.
Same kind of stuff. It was awesome. I know I'm just the outside observer. I'm along for the ride.
Now you're part of it.
No, I know. I appreciate that. But it was, just again, if I can help, I can help. And it's the weekend, and what else am I doing on a Sunday? Fuck, I'll go to the desert. I want to see Death Valley.
Oh, yeah.
I'll help how I can. You guys have good music, and I enjoyed watching you guys put on those performances over and over. I think you guys probably did about 9 or 10 takes easily.
Oh, yeah.
But it was always great seeing just the subtle differences with each take and the subtle different things and ways that Ellie and I could shoot that, right? And find different angles, find different ways to be creative, even though it's not mine, just, kind of like, I'll play with it this way and see if I can add to the video. It was fun. I enjoyed it so much. And it was just a beautiful day. We already mentioned it. The stars was incredible. The sunset was incredible. Again, kind of the universe going, you don't think I can do a sunset? I'll give you a sunset. Just things that happen for a reason. Just sometimes, you don't expect it and you just go along with it, and ends up being more amazing than you could even think.
Oh, yeah.
And that was definitely one of those days. I agree. It was awesome. So hopefully it'll lead to something awesome too.
Yeah, it will. There's no doubt. It's up to us. I'm telling you, it's up to us. Like how good we want to be, it's purely up to us. And we'll figure it out. So shout out to folks who listen. You'll see the music video at some point, hopefully the next couple weeks. And go ahead and listen to more of our music. We'll have more, I guess, just shit going on. We got a lot in the works.
Yes.
So I'm thinking like album release pretty soon, followed by some really sick singles coming out, and then some shows. I'm thinking maybe April we do a show. Mm-hmm. So I'll get everyone's availability. We'll do something cool for the album release.
And are you going to mention first video, or is that a TBD thing?
Yeah, first video. I mean, yeah, I'll upload this as long as I got the whole thing for sure.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
We think. Dog, cat, man, beer.
All right. Peace, everybody. Love you.
Sit down, trying. My thoughts are confining. I wake up in my dreams. How far can I see overseas? Different realities. I wake up in my dreams. 'Cause other worlds are where I want to be. Ooh. Oh, I know turn red. Who am I in my head? Imagining the beauty